So The Abyss was written and directed by James Cameron, perhaps the biggest perfectionist in Hollywood right now. And I'm about to make a big confession to you guys. You ready for this? I don't know if you are, but until this point in my life, I've never seen The Abyss. Until today. But this movie just turned 35 years old. It just got its first ever Blu-ray release earlier this year. And I figured when I saw that physical release come out, I was like, I have to watch it now. No better time. So our stars in this movie are Ed Harris and Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio, the latter of whom you remember as Maid Marian from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. That's how I remember her, at least. And they're formerly married petroleum engineers who still have some issues to sort out. When they first come across each other in this movie, there's some serious friction there. And some brilliant dialogue between the two about priorities and whatnot. And Ed Harris being so hurt by the argument that he throws his wedding ring into the toilet, only for him to just dig it back up again. Gross. The things you do for love. But these two are drafted to assist a gung-ho Navy SEAL played by Michael Biehn with a top-secret recovery operation. See, a nuclear sub has been ambushed and sunk under mysterious circumstances in some of the deepest waters on planet Earth. So not only do they have to go deep into the titular abyss, they also have to deal with some sort of supernatural being that lies under the surface. Now, this movie just turned 35 years old. The special effects in this movie are still groundbreaking. And when it's transferred over to the Ultra HD, my God, these colors and these visuals are just a feast. There are many reasons why The Abyss won Best Visual Effects at the Oscars back in 1989. Like, just look at this movie. Look at the imagery that James Cameron is giving you. Like, God, I really wish I saw this on the big screen last year. Because say what you want about James Cameron and say what you want about how difficult his movies are to work on, but in my opinion, James Cameron has these difficult shoots so that his movies can actually stand the test of time. And The Abyss is one of them. I realize it's not one of his most talked about movies. Both Terminator movies come to mind, Aliens comes to mind, especially Titanic. Oh my God. And yeah, now that he's revitalizing the Avatar IP, yeah, this guy's probably going to be a household name until the end of time. And to my knowledge, the actors actually don't like talking about the shoot of The Abyss very much. So much so that they've actually coined this shoot as Son of Abyss. That's actually really clever. But all this hard work that the actors are putting in, all the hard work that James Cameron's putting into this movie, everything just feels worth it. And in my opinion, this is James Cameron's most underrated movie in his filmography. Because the trailers and what you see when you scroll through this on like a Netflix or something, it markets the alien element heavily. And yeah, this stuff is really cool, but deep down, The Abyss has a lot of human drama going into this. And it makes this whole situation, as surreal as it is, feel all the more realistic. Like, the actual conflicts between our characters all feel extremely grounded. And all the character arcs make sense. Michael Biehn as this Navy SEAL becoming completely unhinged. You understand why he does it, and you understand his motivation. And you understand the scrap that he gets into with Ed Harris, and that is a very physical battle. Like, you don't get a lot of movies with this sort of action element anymore. Especially being shot underwater. Like, you really feel the danger in The Abyss. And you feel the danger for these characters, and you want them to make it out of this situation okay. Now, I talked a little bit about Ed Harris earlier. He is an absolute legend in every way. He's instantly recognizable. In my honest opinion, this might be his finest acting work. If you only need one piece of proof from this movie to show you that, look at the scene where he's trying to revive his wife from the dead. Look at how much emotional range he's going through there. He is absolutely gutted and devastated. And then when his wife is actually revived, oh my God, the relief and the happiness on his face. Ed Harris is a man who absolutely understands the assignment, and this might be my favorite performance I've ever seen out of him. Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio as well. I loved her in the Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves movie. She did this movie before that ever came out. And this is a very strong female character. Now, I will say, a lot of the dialogue centered around her, and this is a very male-centric cast, but some of it can come off a little bit dated and sometimes uncomfortable when it comes to her. But she doesn't give a damn what any of these guys think about her. And the relationship that she shares with Ed Harris and the chemistry she shares with Ed Harris is very sweet. And I love the eventual resolution. I love when Ed Harris is going deep into the figurative abyss and they're actually communicating with each other. And Ed Harris is texting out his responses, and that's all you can really get out of him. Mastrantonio's acting, especially towards the end of the movie, is masterful. Like, there really is a lot to love about The Abyss, really. James Cameron's direction, the underwater atmosphere is so foreboding. It feels like a very claustrophobic movie. Like, they really don't make them like this anymore. And dare I say, the scenes that happened in Terminator 2, the scenes that would occur during Titanic, The Abyss walked so those two movies could run. Especially with all this water that was seeping in on set. Like, I was getting serious Titanic vibes looking at this. And it's a precursor to the greatness of how thrilling that final sequence in Titanic actually was. And the entire movie is like that. Just dripping and drowning in greatness. Excuse my vocabulary there. Before I forget, I also gotta shout out Alan Silvestri and his music. He was on a roll even back in the 80s with scores for Back to the Future. And every single time I go back and rewatch The Abyss, when that title pops up and his music swells in as the camera zooms in to the underwater atmosphere, it is gonna send goosebumps up and down my spine every single time. Now, there's a lot of great things about The Abyss. I think it's James Cameron's most underrated movie he's ever come out with. I will say, though, the ending to this movie, and I haven't seen the extended cut yet, but the theatrical version, the way the movie wraps up, and I'm not going to spoil it just in case you've never seen The Abyss, because like me, if you want to go into this with an open mind, I dare not give it away here. But it does kind of end on a Deus Ex Machina, and I feel like if this movie were to get that perfect grade and that extra emotional oomph, I would have actually ended this movie the other way around, in more of a bittersweet tone. Because this ending, let me just say this, is the sweetest of all sweet. And I get the message that they're trying to get across here. I get what James Cameron is trying to say. I just think there was a missed opportunity to add a little bit more emotional gravitas to how the movie actually wraps up. Besides that issue, guys, The Abyss is a great movie. I can't believe it's taken me this long to actually sit through it and watch it. James Cameron is a master. The Abyss is his most underrated movie in his filmography. I'm gonna give The Abyss an A. And I can't wait to check out the extended director's cut, because to my understanding, there's gonna be a few differences in there. But let me know what you thought of The Abyss down in the comments. What is your favorite James Cameron movie? Is it this movie? Is it Titanic? Is it T2? It probably isn't going to be Avatar. Heck, if it is, more power to you. I'm glad it is. I love discussing all new things in the cinematic world over here on the regular. And if you guys have stumbled upon this channel for the first time, if you're looking to join a great community of geeks, film lovers, entertainment lovers alike, this is a good place to be. So do consider subscribing today and tap on that thumbs up as well. That would be a huge help. And stay tuned for more videos very soon as we kick this summer blockbuster season into another gear. I can't wait for a big double feature that I have planned tomorrow night with my brother. The summer blockbuster season is going to be a lot of fun over here, guys. Lots of things that I've never done before over here on the channel. Lots of things that you'd come to expect from me. It's going to be a nice little mix of content here, guys. So thank you all again so much for your support. Y'all are the best. And with all that being said, Back Talk, commence.